2019 footage. Okay. The teaser was already done earlier. We did the first one, so this is literally back to back with the other one. And we are immediately going to the next footage. And I think I'm going to make a minor change already. But I'm going to pause it here. Fate Protects Fools, Part 2 TOO. Fate Protects Fools, TOO. Real brief, behind the scenes, because afterward, thingy. There was a mention of... Yeah, we have this a story that starts out with some Greek literature, quoting from Plato, mainly Plato, about the not the Iliad and the Odyssey. That was Homer. It's Plato. It's quoting from Plato's Atlantis. That's what it's from. I was going to say Iliad and Odyssey, but no, it's Plato's Atlantis. It's Plato. So they're quoting back and forth, which is funny in the beginning. Similar to Star Trek 6 with the Shakespeare. This Greek, they were quoting from Greek, just to be different. Then it goes on to the other ancient alien theories and stuff, and it's all connected. So, yeah, all of the stuff they were kind of going into in the last episode, it's kind of related to the stuff in this episode, and it's all connected. Well, the alien planet is still coercing them. We also got a hint about that. Miral being sort of a pseudo New Age Wiccan character has this idea, or former one, has this idea that something is programming them to say stuff and possessing them in a way somehow. And they all kind of get that, but she has a more spiritual connection to it. She's figured it out. The others are more blatant about it. I think Koloth realizes it's going on and it just annoys him. She's more spiritual about it. Just pisses him off. It appears that Kira is more religious because of it and is trying to use it as a thing. Roshenko is just annoyed, even more so than the other guy. And several of the other characters behaving in the similar way as on page 17 here. I got nothing more else. I would just like to go all the way to the behind the scenes Act 2 here of Fate Protects Fools 2. Red Letter Media did a review of Picard Show Season 1 and referenced one of our fan films, one of these guys. And I also referenced that the Picard Show referenced them. There was a scene in the Guinan bar where there was a bar scene where one of them said, "I'm half in the bag," and clearly a reference to "half in the bag" in the story. To which I commented, as Cal character, "Well, thank me for the comment in Picard, because put it there." And then I said, "No, I actually didn't write that. I did suggest it though." But yes, we did suggest it. They put it in there. So they've read Mike and Rich and Jay's channel, Red Letter Media. They're familiar with they clearly are familiar with that Star Trek Galaxy thing, because it's basically Lower Decks and Prodigy. It's basically what it is, Lower Decks and Prodigy, and also Gamel, who isn't related. They just think he is. And so our Starship locations is also related. So Rich Evans showed a picture of Neelix, and he's all like, it's a Talaxi Neelix thing. It's kind of weird. It's like, he's indirectly referencing, I made him plain. My favorite character is either Picard or Neelix, but some fans would say it's Neelix. And it was like, To which I commented, yes, and your denouement is a plot device. Your denouement is a Neelix, and Mike Stalaska's denouement is a Matthews. You have Evans and Matthews. Matthews is Rich, and he's playing a lore figure. See, and he's a lore figure because that makes sense. He'd be a Data, or lore, and Rich would be a Talaxian, of course. So they did directly reference that they keep mentioning us. Why don't we just go be on their show when the pandemic ends if they want? We'll show up. Yeah, cool. I don't know if they realize that the Chimera channel is the same one as the Cal Cat one. I don't think they do. Maybe they do, because the Calicat Kelly thing, the characters and sketches and stuff. Anyway, so there's my rant for the evening. But yes, Red Letter Media Red Letter Media referenced themselves being referenced in Star Trek Picard, and then they referenced this channel and said, "Oh, the Neelix thing and the lore thing." So the fan guys putting on Neelix and lore and Neelix, yeah. Mutton chops and stuff. So they've done it again. They've done it twice so far. And we're not ripping off. We're making fun of it. We're clearly like, yeah, we're spoofing. And actually, they didn't watch Discovery season 3 and 4, and they don't need to watch my fan film spoof, where they're just standing around pretty much talking. But which also works. But that Reddit episode, they watched it. They were like, "Oh my god, this kid is a hack fraud." No, but yes, actually, I'm a little older than them, but they don't know that. I think the Red Letter Media guys are about Mark Cars' age, so they're a little younger than me, but only a little. And Channel Awesome is about 8 years younger than me. Doug Walker and Brad Jones and those guys are in their late 30s, early 40s. Early 40s, probably early 40s at this point, But yeah, so yeah, they're quite a bit, yeah, they're probably like 42, 41, 42, somewhere in there. So yeah, 43. Anyway, so it's hilarious that all these like channels seem to know each other and stuff. All right, this is Silly Kelly, and this is really brief. Just wrapped principal photography on Fate Protect Fools Part 2 here on the set, and blew it up. Probably damaging some of the figures. Paint jobs, at least. Yeah, so we already filmed the wedding footage and post-ship footage first, and did the Klingon ship stuff, time ship, and them getting back to the wedding, and then doing that, and that's the second half of that. They already did that first before we actually shot, so we shot them back to back, literally. But we did Fate Protects Fools 1, and then did the wedding and the ship stuff at the same time, so we could use the set in the same setup the way it was. And then that sat there for several weeks, a couple of months, and then we just used the footage again. So we got to the end of Fate Protects Fools Part 2. We got up to the 55th page when the action starts to go crazy, and this is in the script: the anomaly about to crash into the planet and kill everything. They wince, they duck, the space-time until it hits, and back to 2403. And there was going to be a post-credit scene, which we're not doing in this one. Sorry, no, we're not doing it. In which they are visited by a character from Prodigy, who shows up when they're visiting Cybertron in the future. We're not going to do that here. That would be cheesy. This is a contained story. It's the Planet of the Fallen Ones story season. It's not going to be made into a storybook later, because it already was. It's not going to be summarized either in the canon of the story, so it's indirectly not canon. It's just for fun. Anyway, so yeah, it is canon, but it's fun. And they referenced at the saucer section on Picard show. They referenced off screen that they rescued the saucer section of the Enterprise D, but earlier in that timeline. So there's a different timeline than ours, so it's fine. Whereas in ours, it was still down on the planet. It's called the Ventura planet. So, anyway, yeah, so that's the end of this, unless there's pickup scenes. Well, hopefully there aren't. We've finished off, and here it is, and they didn't meet any space giants, but they weren't really going to. They took the Marvel Loki ending and had them. Those are automatons; they're not alive. Ending thing. Yeah. So. Yeah. And there was actually more that would have gone into the Eldani story 1 and 2, which would have been the very end of this, and the Eldani story was done first last season, which is kind of weird because it was actually later in terms of continuity when it took place. But all of Fallen Planets took place over 5 years, but it was, well, not really in the story continuity, but there were 5 years of different blocks: 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, a little bit of 2020. Yeah, a little over 7 years was thrown in there, and each episode was a different year. But yeah, so it was never meant to be anything other than what it is. Here it is, and we are done with photography this evening. This night shoot. So yeah, there will be another one for the apparently on the other channel for the celebrating over 100 videos on the fan film channel. There will be a special with some of the cast in it. We haven't written it, so we can't put a teaser sequence in there and then say, "Oh, that was totally going to happen," because what if it doesn't? So we don't want to do that. So there's no after credits thing in it. So don't look for it. There's just roll credits. That's what it is. Planet of the Fallen Ones. It got very hairy and during the last part of the shoot, just because it was stressful to finish it. There's all kinds of issues with the final day of shooting that weren't, but we did it. Not much more. The rant about the other stuff, put it in the other video, the Beatles thing. Put that separate in the outtakes of the making of. That didn't need to be in here because it's not about this. Anyway, so that was the Fate Protects Fools Part 2. And it's done. Silly Kelly signing off. So, this is, since we did 2 teasers last night. Goody. And it's because you rushed. Yeah, because we rushed. The second teaser we have here, rolling. We're going to do the teaser for Fate Protects Fools 2. And yeah, so all of the lines by Bashir Kiriyoshi are, some of them aren't out of focus, but they kind of are a mess. So let's just do them over. All right, so yes, this is going to be footage for pickups for Fate Protects Fools 2, and it's Kiriyoshi. The trailer here. Years ago, an Easter play, Jesus is a space alien. Yeah, I forgot about that. Only because I was reminded of it. The current Easter play is one that my sister did. They're going to do that one again, or one my sister inspired. I don't know if she wrote the whole thing or just got it off the internet, but it's probably. The other one was the Jesus alien. This is the regular Easter bunny with the animals one. Anyway, so had nothing to do with this, but that Easter bunnies or Jesus alien would be ancient aliens. So it's a weird connection there, but we have the whole thing. When you make the making of for parts 1 and 2, here this is kind of like parts 1 and 2, or the season finale 6 and 7. You can probably put the making of stories together because really there's not much to them. So we'll do that here as well. We don't need to go overboard with making of. The whole story's already been discussed numerous times. So yeah. So that's it for the evening, and that's it for now. And we'll do another one tomorrow and the next day, and finish the second half, and then put it all together. The 2 episodes will air on the same day. Well, maybe one will be slightly afterward the next morning. But yeah, we'll see what 2 days will appear. So yeah. I also watched a little bit of the special on the Angry Video Game Nerd thing. I have mentioned him a few times because he went to one of the early Baycons, and he was also at the 2018 Comic-Con show thing. Wow thing. He went to that. He was at that. Not, I don't think he went to Fanime. He might have went to Fanime with the Channel Awesome people would have been 2017 when they went to Fanime. But I think he's 2018, and he was there. And I don't think we got to see. I got to see part of it. And then he was gone. I mentioned it in the episode. It was like, oh, I almost got to see him, kind of. We went by his booth, but yeah, they didn't get to actually like see the show. 2018. What were we doing in 2018? I know in 2019 we were making the Teddy Ruxpin one, but in 2018, what were we doing? Look that up. Anyway, but we were there at San Jose Comic Con, and and in the gaming room thing, some of the cast, some of the other people that were there mentioned, did your channel do gaming? You keep showing up in the game rooms. I said, no, my channel doesn't do gaming, probably because of characters like the Angry Video Game Nerd that have more permissions to do that. And I've said in the other interviews and things that we don't really review stuff that has content that someone else created because we're going to get flagged immediately. We have done trailers of movies, like trailer reviews, and been immediately flagged for a trailer review. So some of these other guys got more, I guess, credit or clout or whatever. And even though the main review channel has 1,000 videos at this point, the other one's not so much. And we were even getting flagged doing a download of an on-location video just recently on the Kitty Key channel. I tried to download on the weekend my high school graduation, and UMG flagged it because Imagine from the Beatles was playing in the background on a grainy videotape. Grainy video from June of '89. I'm sure that John Lennon's characters do not care whether Imagine was in the background in that video. I'm sure he's probably like, why would I care about that? Some kid puts it in, his teacher probably put it in there. It's like, he doesn't care. Come on. It's like, who would say that? He would say, I don't care about that. What would you say? Beatles in the credits, I guess. I don't know. But I took out the music and I put in some Chimera music played backwards. But yeah, it's weird. It's like really grainy. It can't even hardly understand it. But it is Imagine from the Beatles. It is. But it's people talking over it and stuff, and it's clearly not meant to be a copyright infringement. It's playing in the background of the graduation 35 years ago. Come on, YouTube. Really? Anyway, and an Angry Video Game Nerd, I guess, got in some trouble or something, but I don't know. I think I'm still subscribed to his channel. I watched it on occasion. My comment to their... Well, there was a channel site that did a thing on him. I haven't watched the whole thing. I just watched about 10 minutes of it so far. A movie-length version blog thing of it. Kind of like Cinema Venom did with the other one, Channel Awesome. This is another one, Video Game Nerd, going after somebody else from Channel Awesome. I guess this person is fair, though. This lady that reviewed it is being fair to it and saying this is a history of it and not being mean. It's the history of it. So, yeah, I don't know. I'd still go and see him. I mean, he's supposed to be sarcastic, isn't that the point? But yeah, if there was another convention with him, yeah, I wouldn't go to his house. I'm not saying that. I'm being creepy. No. But that would be weird. I think he's married and has kids and stuff, so that would be really weird. No. I'm not saying I would go to a convention if he was there. And I would go to a convention. Channel Awesome was there too. I wouldn't care about that other stuff. It's like, yeah, what are they going to do? Go, oh, your channel is mean. Your channel is hypocrites. It's not really. I have 1,000 videos, but not 1,000 likes and subscribes. On the Chimera channel, I have a little over 130 videos, what appear to be. And that's not as many views. Something like that. It's not very many. Something like that. I had more subscribers many years ago when they didn't gut all of YouTube looking for subscriber bots or whatever, and kind of made hundreds of them, if not thousands of them, go away. I didn't do that. They just went away because it's like that's not good. The channels are bigger; they can survive longer. It's not monetized. It's not AdSense. I don't make a crowd GoFundMe or anything like that. I just do it. It's free. None of it's paid for. None of it's monetized. But on that other channel, no, we can't let you do a Beatles song. What? Really? What the? It's UMG. I don't even think Universal Music Group owns the Beatles. Isn't that England? England owns the Beatles. What? Come on. Oh, anyway, so besides, they've been out of print since the 60s and stuff. So like, clearly not copyright like infringement. It's like playing at a party at the background, essentially graduation. They did the same thing to the modernized version of the wedding march from the Dan's wedding footage that nephew footage that went up years ago in 2014. They flagged that 2 years ago, but that was years ago. And because it was a modern version of the wedding song done by a popular modern band, so they're like, oh, the wedding thing. No, the wedding march itself is not copyrightable. The wedding march, the original wedding march, the Here Comes the Bride, is definitely free use, fair use. No, you guys doing a cover of it. Modern band does not own the rights to that song. That's freeware. Yeah, I think it's some famous composer did the original version of that. And yeah, it's him. He would do his copyright, but I think it's fair. Yeah, it's Here Comes the Bride. Yeah, it's like no, that shouldn't be copyrighted by anybody. Or it's like Happy Birthday. That shouldn't be copyrighted either. Let's the Happy Birthday song. What the hell? The graduation ballad shouldn't be copyrighted. That shouldn't be copyrighted either because somebody wrote that. That's a symphony from famous symphony from somewhere. But yeah, it's weird. I suppose they're going to copyright taps too. Anyway, whatever.